Ladies and gentlemen, I'd like to say hello. Hello and welcome. I'd like to say hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to another exciting edition of the program, Ashford Got It Live. We have a full house tonight. We have the parents of the missing young man in studio tonight. No more they say. Hear from the parents themselves. What do they know? What happened? We have some shocking revelation that you need to know about tonight on Bridge Radio Africa. You see, we'll go for the people that actually make the news. And that's why we're here tonight. Don't be selfish. Don't enjoy this revelation by yourselves. Invite a few friends. Grab something to drink. Get the popcorn rolling. And folks, by way of introduction, please allow me to borrow the wordings of the wise man. Tough times don't last. Tough people do. The height of a man is never known until he rises, and there's no second chance to make that first impression.
Michael T.
You see, when God bless you, don't see that medicine. Don't see okra and swallow bone. Because a bald-headed man does not walk on the moonlight. The medicine of the microphone, the golden voice of Liberia, the broadcast commissioner, ASHFORD the Giant, and now you know me, GARLEY. Welcome. And as we wait for the parents of the missing young man, I'd like to invite a friend of mine based out of Canada. You know, I'd like to invite my friend and brother Leo, based out of Canada. Leo, how you doing, my man? Welcome to the show. You might want to unmute your phone, please.
Thank you for having me, Albert. Thank you, ASHFORD, for having me. Thank you so much.
I bet you listen to the news of late, And I'm pretty sure you heard about the missing 3 young men in the Bond County area. Something that is very disturbing. I just want you to tell the world what you know so far.
Thank you, Ashford, and I will speak about it also from a holistic point of view. That it's becoming very concerning, the number of cases we are beginning to see back to back, right? Because sometimes I just wonder that these ones have been exposed because they happen in very urban areas, and we have profile people involved sometimes. I can only wonder what's happening in the rest of the country if something like this happens somewhere else. And what is even more concerning, that is exposing the fact that, and I've said this all the time, that security is a serious challenge in Liberia. And unfortunately, it will shock you that despite everything we've been through with the war and everything, that we've decided to not pay serious attention to security. We've actually not treated security with the level of attention and seriousness we actually should be treating it with, giving our not too long history that we actually came from. And I'm on record for telling people, in some cases, we don't even have enough police people to police Monrovia alone. Think about it. And when you talk about security, people want to think about the army, the police, and and all of the other straightforward security apparatuses. But it's not only limited to that. It comes down to everything with people being able to be self-sufficient. It comes down to everything with people being able to know that they're not supposed to send their children out to go sell all day, like 6, 7 years old children, all day out in the streets, exposed. These are all of the things, full security when it comes to people being able to provide for themselves basic needs so that they don't have to take the kind of risk that they have to take with their children to go out there. So security is a serious problem in Liberia. And I would say what's even more alarming is it's beginning to feel like if already not that case, the government is seriously challenged when it comes to being able to deal with these matters. So you're beginning to hear people make things like, blaming the government directly, right? People are taking out this frustration without even knowing the outcome of what really happened. People are already beginning to draw their own conclusion, because you know what happens? When you leave a gap to be filled, people will fill it for you, because people want to know. People are hungry to know what's going on. And I'm also surprised that the level of information coming from the government has been very scanty. I think the government should treat this matter with its utmost urgency, because if the government can start to actually solve some of these cases, or even investigate it and bring it to a logical conclusion so people can see, it will instill some confidence. But right now, everybody is fast losing confidence, because it's almost happening back to back with multiple cases. And we haven't seen the level of reaction that needs to come from the security apparatus, whether it's the police or other security agencies concerned. We almost have this deafening silence. Like, it's just deafening, and everybody's looking for answers. So as a result of that, everybody's taking an answer from whoever convinces them, whoever seems convincing. And that is a recipe for chaos, because even if the security apparatus go out there now and investigate this matter or whatever that is, you already be prejudged, because you did not demonstrate the type of confidence that people needed to know that the police is on this matter, or this security agency is on this matter. And we've seen the level of seriousness. I think Colonel Patrick Studu is supposed to be providing updates every 2-3 days. Every 2-3 days, he should be on the radio to speak to the Liberian people as to the status of the security of the nation overall.
Well, one of the parents of has just arrived, and he's the father of one of the alleged victims, Mr. Robert Blamble, is live now in the studio, and we are going to zoom on him in just a little bit. But just before we do that, I want to say hi to Andy D. Moore, Jeremy, Tracy Wilson, Bolu Aisha Kowu Howard, Silla Afwanan, Sylvester Constance, Louis Koziba, Beatrice Popo, Jenkins Ben. We'll also see my own lovely cousin Patience D. Slew. I see Clarence Tiller, Matu Mentu Jar, Samuel Ngofo. And we'll also see Goodwill Sam, Musa Sharif, and Agba Mobolo. I also see Moses Bubba, Folkbaye, Mouthpiece Tiller is in the building, Clarence Tiller, and the rest of the crew. And at this time, I want to say a big thank you to the strategists, the board members of British Radio Africa, for getting me prepared just to be part of this productivity, not only tonight, but the previous ones. I can't do this by myself. The fact that you see me come here all the time, it doesn't mean that I have the wealth of ideas, but there are some people who are behind me, who are making sure that we become successful. And that's why they take off time off the business schedule just to prepare us. And with that said, I just want to say a big thank you to our outstanding board chair and the rest of the board members, including our strategists, in getting us prepared. Again, shortly, as soon as we get signal from Mr. Robert Blamble, who happens to be one of the parents of the missing young man. But Mr. Johnson, I don't know if you listened to St. Moses. He was on the platform yesterday, and he had a lot of things to say, which were in fact contradict some of the things that we also heard. What did you get from St. Moses yesterday?
First of all, I would say I think St. Moses needs to exercise a little bit of care and caution here, because he's the accused as a state right now. And before you start to run to the court of public opinion and, to start to make definitive statements, especially in some cases when they start to look contradictory in many ways, I would say usually what you want to do, if you are the accused in these matters and you think you're innocent or you think you're not guilty or whatever that is, you need to have some empathy to understand the frustration of the parents, right? These are people who've lost their children, who cannot find their children. These are people who are frustrated with the situation. And on top of it, they are not hopeful that they may get any answers from our security agencies to be able to solve the matter. So not compound that, you have the ability to try and exercise some empathy so that you can have the opportunity and, to clear your name in a legitimate way rather than preempting and even in some cases going as far as trying to make it look like the parents do not know what they're talking about. And for me personally, I would say no. And people would be like, oh, but the person is not guilty. If you're not guilty, you also have some sense of empathy, because what is true here is that these parents currently don't know the whereabouts of their children. Their children are missing. So I will have some empathy regardless of who is accused until I can clear my name. But second of all, ASHFORD, we got something we say, the perception of a conflict of interest is a conflict of interest. But second of all, I would take that to the security situation. The perception of insecurity is insecurity itself. If people start to perceive, based on happenings in the country, that there is insecurity, then there is insecurity itself. And someone like St. Moses himself is a high-profile person in our society. He knows that. He comes with a lot of influence. He comes with a lot of, this is not even anything negative. He knows people. He's well-connected. And this will be the time for he himself to exert every effort possible to ensure that this matter does not appear like it normally does when it's swept under the carpet, no proper investigation, because whoever is involved is not trying to subject themselves to any investigation. We saw how long it took with the parents demonstrating at St. Moses before it even caught people's attention. In my opinion, if my character is on the line, if my reputation is on the line, I will not wait if no one else is acting. I will immediately preempt the situation and start to do what is right to make sure that my role in the situation is clear, and not waiting until
Thank you. And Mr. Blamble, I want you to please, because I'm hearing myself. Is assisting you in the background. They might want to just reduce the volume a little bit. Want to hold that. Mr. Blamble, hello and welcome to Bridge Radio.
Hello, thank you very much for being here in the station. I'm glad to be here. Thank you very much.
Now, usually I ask people to give us their again. There's too much noise distraction. I just need to please lower the volume in the background so that we can understand what Who is Robert Blamble? Tell us a little bit about yourself.
Thank you very much. I'm Robert M. Blamble Sr., a father of 10 children. Unfortunately, I just lost two. One, Alita Blamble, who died in a tragic motor accident. And then just recently, prior to COVID-19 taking over Liberia, I lost my last son, Michael Blamble. And I'm from the armed forces of Liberia, but I'm being retired. And I rose to the rank of a captain in the army. And then when the army came and were trying to restructure the army, I decided to go in my private life and do private business because I was from the engineer battalion of the armed forces of Liberia. With mechanical experience, I started my workshop and I've been surviving and getting my children to school, taking care of my homes and all those kind of things. And I was doing fine because I had a lot of clients. I was doing all the Lebanese. I do motorcycles as well. I repair, and buy, and sell. So I could spare able. That was fine for me. I legally married. My wife is Mrs. Rosaline Kipat Blamble from the Kipat family. We've been married for a little over 25 years now. I'm happily married. And just the unfortunate situation in the last 2 years. And now she mostly wants to make the third unfortunate situation for us, which we are not going to allow.
Now, who is for you? How well do you know this man? How long have you been friends?
Well, Moses, I don't know what I should say was, but is like a brother because we have been knowing one another for a little over 30 years. Even before that funeral home went to that level, we have been friends, And he used to be a mechanic as well, working with the U.S. Embassy. And then later on, when he went to Grace Barnell on the Central Street, and then he became a mechanic, and then from there, patching us small, he learned this mortician thing. So he decided to establish his own funeral home. So we've been knowing one another for a little over 30 years, and we've been real good friends, like brothers.
We heard you 9 days ago. Please tell the international media. What do you know so far that happened? 3 young men. You don't count it.
Well, yeah, thank you anyway. Firstly, I'd like to thank the Almighty God for the opportunity. Preserving our lives for the short time, these few days, what we went through. It was hectic. But God being God, we are still around to be able to narrate the actual story. It's something like the 17th of this month. And that was when the incident occurred. But on the 16th, which was Friday, Moses gave me a call. I've given him one of these ATV quads motorcycle. He wanted to buy it, but he was trying to do mining business somewhere. And Bapolo, he told me. and he needed a bike, you know, to go through the bush. So we sold this bike to him, and he took it up in the bush, and I've been there for some time. So on the 16th, he gave me a call that the bike was developing small problem and needed service. But he did not want myself to go because he thought it was a minor issue and that my son should come the following morning. So I asked him, where are they? Where's my son going? He said, look, if I describe the place, you know, you won't know. But what I'm going to do, I'm going to send a motorcyclist who is with me and will come and pick up your son tomorrow morning. And you're going to come and do the work and go right back. Of course, I gave him this warning. I said, look, the country is risky, really risky. I don't want my son traveling after 6. So in any case, that work is done anytime before 3, 4 o'clock. Let him sleep and come back the following morning. So he said, okay, so if it gets to the point where it will be late, don't worry. And this boy normally calls Moses, I will swear, Uncle Moses. So early the Saturday morning, the motorcyclist came before like 6 o'clock a.m. So they all got dressed, they got on the bike, and they left. By 2 o'clock, I contacted my son, and he told me, oh, Daddy, I'm at St. Moses camp. He didn't tell me there was any water along that road that we were going, because I knew through Blamble, because he had carried the ATV, I knew he didn't carry through water. So I knew they were going to ride straight there and back. So the children, the boy and the other guy left with the bike. By 2 o'clock when I called, the boy confirmed, yeah, I'm here at the camp, but there was nothing wrong with the bike. I said, what are you talking? He said, oh, I came, I tested the bike, started the bike. I tested it, and there's no problem. Where's Moses? He said, Moses walked down the bush. So I said, all right. If you come in now, then you can start coming, and let's keep in touch on the phone. So up to 6:30, I couldn't get in, and I called by 6 o'clock, the phone was ringing, we were not responding. But Moses used another number to call me. He used another number. So when I tried Moses' phone, there was no way. I contacted, I got that very number he used previously, and I called. And then another guy picked the phone, he answered the phone, he said, oh, it's my phone, Blamble, I know you, but Moses is not around. In fact, I'm not in the camp right now, I'm in the next village, which is about 15, 20, 25 motorcycle, you know, minutes ride with motorcycle. I said, but I'm trying to get to my son, and I'm not getting my son. He said, oh, I left he and Moses going to eat. But there's no way he can come because there's a lot of river along the road, so he won't be able to come. They got to cross by Kino, he got to do that. I said, what? He said, yes. I said, can you go back there and tell him not to come? He said, in fact, there's no way he can come, only tomorrow. So I said, I just want you to go back to the camp so that he don't, let me talk with Moses, because I don't want him over water. He said, the place far and I'm walking, I can't walk back there, it's late now. So you can get him in the morning, it's all right. By 6:30, we started receiving phone calls from unknown people. The first girl called me, she said, she found my son's phone. And when she strode in the phone, she saw the number told Daddy, and another one told Mommy. So she was calling us to tell us that she found the phone, but she don't know where the owner of the phone was. So I began to worry, you know, and like 15 minutes after, another Ghanaian called that he found my son's ID card in his wallet. I said, what's going on? He said, we just saw it. I'm around St. Moses camp and I found the wallet and the ID card, his school ID card in the wallet. So like, wow, what's going on? Then we start receiving phone calls like, oh, God news that your son got drowned. I say, you gotta be kidding me. This can't be true. Moses, if something like that happened, Moses would have called me and told me this. So I sat home and I tried to not give it credence. I said, look, if this thing were true, maybe Moses tried to scare me or something. If this thing were true, Moses would have been the first to call. So we were sitting getting ready for, because it was Sunday morning, getting ready for Mass, going to church. And then I saw one of my Catholic priests, from the St. Mary's Parish, were found. One of the newly ordained priests with a number of my, parishioners from my parish. Drove in the yard. Then I started getting afraid because they should be at Mass, and why were they coming to me? So I started getting afraid. I called my wife. I said, look, come down, listen, what you here for? Then Father came to tell me that Moses called here around 9 o'clock to confirm that our son was dead from a canoe capsized, and they got drowned. So I said, Father, this cannot be true because Moses and I are too close, and Moses has my number. So until I can hear from Moses himself, I'm not going to believe this. But if he told you this personally, then I'm a bit confused. So we all started weeping. The mother could not stand the shock. We have just lost 2 children. The third one is going again. We were like, God, what have we done? So I said, unless I see or hear from St. Moses, Father, then I will believe this. Then he made contact with St. Moses, and then St. Moses sent his office staff to meet with us. When they got there, then I knew it was really serious. Then they began to tell me, we came to say sorry, have a sympathy, and the boy, got drowned. So I said, but how come water came in the picture? Who said that what you told me my son was going to, fly over any water? Our boy's afraid of water, in fact. So how come, let me talk to Moses. The only thing I want to do, I want to talk to Moses. So they put Moses on the line, and Moses said he was praying, crying, and things like that. I said, Moses, let's get something straight. Right now, crying will not solve the problem. I want to understand what really transpired. Then Moses said to me, your son and I, after work, in fact, we realized the motorcycle never had any problem. So he came, just started in, there was no problem. But I had to go in the bush, walk in the bush. So it was a little delay when I got back after 5, 6 o'clock. So I was tired from the bush, my pressure was way up. So I decided to go and take a nap and jump. Your son, myself, ate. And then I went in my room to sleep. I was asleep by 12 midnight, going to 1 o'clock. When my colleague banged up my door to tell me that we're in trouble. And I said, what? He said, oh, the children were leaving and they got on a canoe, and the canoe capsized, and there were 6 persons on that canoe. 3 survived, and 3 got drowned because they are not found. And Blamble saw happening one of those who were drowned, and including the 2 other boys who came from Monrovia, equally do work and services for him. So he got afraid, and he said he called Father. So when he explained, then I decided to tell him, hold on, I mean, just find out something. I said, you woke up 12:30? He said, yes. So all right, I will call you back. Then I called Father over, took my phone and called Father. I said, Father, what hour did Moses call you? He said around 9 to 9:30. I ran away from my security background. I began to recollect. And that feeling of death, like my first child died before I could even get the news. I was sweating profusely. When the second one, that same kind of feeling, I got weak, terribly weak. But then one I had no symptoms, and so I was still not too sure. Maybe it was kind of hard joke. But when I called Father said 9:30. I was like, wow. So it means Moses told you about the canoe crash and death before it actually happened. So I said, this cannot be true. We got to investigate it. So I told Moses, I said, Moses, I'm not going to cry now because I don't have that real feeling that something is wrong. So I will be coming up to where it happened. Can you find somebody to direct me where the incident occurred so that I can come and do some fact-finding? So yeah, no problem. And when you want to come, I said, of course, today is Sunday. I can't come today. And by the time I look, my whole yard was filled with people. People coming to tell me, have my sympathy. And I started to, rebuke them and say, no, I don't want any sympathy for anybody. My son is not dead. I'm going to go to the bottom of this. So he called me. What do you intend to do? I said, I want to think. Give me some time. I will call you. So the first thing in my mind was to get the police, informed. So we thought on Monday morning to go to the police station and inform the police if they had not been informed. When we got to the police station, I met 105. And I told him, my God, so yeah, I'm aware of the regarding a report that the children found, they are dead. In fact, the commander from Bunkan, they called us and told us. So I said, but from what I'm getting, it's kind of fishy. Because I called the commander for Bon County, asking, and he told me, look, we only see Moses just got in 125 indigenous and traditional people, including 2 traditional devils, to find the bodies. I said, what devil and traditional people have to do with trying to locate body or rescue the people who got drowned? He said, oh yeah, the place is infested with traditional people. In fact, the police can't go there. So I said, so you have not gone on the scene to see if it is true, to establish where it was true that there was a campsite. So he said, no, we got 3 other survivors from the town who were escorting them. Survivors from where he said, from the village. They got a canoe and they were helping him. And it happened that the 3 that were crossing, the 3 strangers survived. That's about how can that be possible? For 3 persons to get on a canoe to cross 3 persons. I mean, it would only be 1 person to push the canoe across. What were the other 2 doing on it? He said, well, I don't know. And then he was like asking questions, and somebody in the background gave him supporting answer. So I said, you're talking to me, but I think I'm seeing Moses around you. He said, oh yeah, Moses is here. Because he asked us to put manpower, we get a speedboat to go and check on the water. I said, look, you are conniving. I think this is something fishy, you commander there. Anyway, I will get back to you. Send me your number. Is it your number you're calling me on? He said yes. I said, all right. I was told the number. So the next morning, Monday morning, I went to the police station. And I spoke with 105. 105 decided to take me to 102.
Before you go for definition of 105. You talk about the discovery of your son. And the discovery of the self. Without the mention of people being around it, correct?
Exactly.
So
They said the phone.
So, how the drowning got into? Moses was on the same platform. And he said the children drowned. Three of them couldn't swim. And found a way across the river. Mr. Blamble.
You know, on Monday, let me just tell you, on Monday, we decided to go in with independent police. And when we got there, the story has changed. They were being escorted instead of 3 by 6 men. Instead, when we went through the investigation further, we were told that Moses allowed 8 men to escort the 3 people out of his compound to the crossing point. So we thought to go in and really see where they canoe capsized and to see the water they were crossing and to see the wreckage of the capsized canoe. So we decided to take in the independent investigator from the CID. And trust me, where they told us that accident took place, we had to walk 5.5 hours in the bush. What was even more dramatic was that on Monday I was at the police station trying to register the complaint, and Moses was on the phone with different numbers calling me. The first thing he told me, "Oh, you don't have to come, Blamble." I said, "Why?" He said, "Oh, because the devil and the traditional people had told us that they will find the bodies at all costs today. And when bodies are found from the river, it is not allowed to leave. It is buried right alongside the water." And I said, "No, I will not accept that. If the bodies are found, let us come and see them before they are buried. Nobody buried my son in my absence." I said, "Moses, I want to reiterate, nobody buried my son in my absence." So he said, "He insists that you want to come." I said, "Yes, I'm coming." And he said, "Look, I advise you to send representative. Yourself, you didn't come." I said, "Why?" He said, "Because the traditional devil and you are a stranger, you are not a member. You could likely be caught and killed by the devil, and the devil will eat you up, and you can be in the devil stomach for some time." I said, "Well, if my son is there, where the essence of living, so I will definitely come. I'm going to come. Nothing going to stop me. I must see what anything happen." He said, "But if you insist that you want to come, then you start to bomb mines. And the police, the commissioner will give you detailed information." I said, "All right." He made a car available because the police said they could not give him police officer because they never had car, they never had money for the police per dime, they never had, logistics, they never had anything. So that was what 103 told me. So I said, "Well, I will honor the cost, and I will secure a vehicle, to carry us." Then Moses called back, "Oh, I will get one of my cars, one of my pickup, and fuel it." I said, "Well, thank you." So we went up to bomb mines. Interestingly, when we got to bomb mines, it was late in the night, and we had to sleep. So early that morning, we all got to the police station to see how we could go about the day on the investigation. And then the commissioner came in with the same devil story. "You can go in this, that." I said, "Look, if the children were in that area where you devil were there, the children were there and they got drowned. Now why we can't go in? How did they go in the first place? So we're going to go there. So if you're able to contact the devil and get the devil that we're coming in." And they was allowed to see where the incident happened. They informed us that the canoe was there, and they have, rescued the canoe, and the canoe was there, time for us to go and see. So we We got on motorcycles. We met the other 2 families there too. So we all took off. 3 families and other members of the family were like 60, 70, 80 persons. And we hired motorcycles, or 35 motorcycles to take all of us there. And the motorcycle could not go any further and go to the river. We had to get in a small canoe to cross. When we crossed, if I couldn't make it, so we began to walk. We walked the first 1.5 hours, 2 hours to the next village. And we had to continue and rest, and we continue again to the next village. And then we went to the 3rd village. And then we got there, they say that this is the last village. But from here, now straight to the crossing point. But the town chief people tell us that the devil is all in the bush. So people cannot reach there. He said, well, the town chief can go and tell the devil, we're coming. Want to see what happened, want to see the canoe, want to see what happened. Some of us here can dive and go in there and see if we can recover the bodies. He said, we got 125 men on the water. They're looking for the bodies, they can't find the bodies. So, we are going to try ourselves. So we used force and we took the commissioner and the town chief. We say, you got to walk ahead of us. The police were with us, and we got afraid that, they got 2 guns, and the lack of ammunition. If they attack, the devil will subdue them. We said, look, let's go. The devil understood that we coming here to do fighting. So we went in. We walked like 2 hours from the town to the water side. When we got there, you could see that there was no way, any way canoe could come in that place. Because there were 2 waterfalls, just like 100 foot apart. So the canoe went between. And when you look at the St. Paul River up there, from the first crossing to the island, because there are islands, about 3-4 islands in between the St. Paul River up the hill. You have to go to the first crossing and you get on the island. Then you go to the second crossing to get to the next shore. And when you get there, you have to walk like 45 minutes and get to another river where you have to use the ferry and cross. So we asked them where the survivors. Then they brought the 3 guys. Police brought them to us to walk with them in the bush. On got the place, there was no sign that canoe had ever landed at that crossing point, or what they call a crossing point, for like 3-4 years. So we're shocked. We said, but if the canoe cross here, how do you people tie the canoe? Because there's no trees. What do you tie the canoe? We see nobody tie the canoe. So you leave the canoe to float and go on, and then when you come, you swim for it. And they said, we should ask the town chief. Ask the town chief. The town chief said, look, I don't want to lie. Nobody crossed here. There is no crossing point. So we begin to suspect that something else was wrong. We asked the commissioner, you were demonstrating for the last 2 days, telling us how dangerous the water is and how pouring the water spins and all that. But we're not seeing anything like that yet.
Now, Mr. Blamble, let us give more benefit of the doubt that very strong. And according to yesterday that the keynote and he went on to does not capture on land water. Today is day number 9. How long does it take for the debris to resurface? Their bodies to resurface. Getting under the water. Not only that. Praying with the 2 hands up. Fell in water. And I'm told. Asakawa. Put it in the water and retrieve them. Put it in the water and retrieve them.
The ring
Of the alleged deceased. Of the alleged deceased. Day by day, today is day number 9. Today is day number 9.
exactly.
Mr. Blamble. Mr. Blamble. Go ahead.
That is the interesting part of it. Today is day number 9. In fact, we're not even talking about the bodies, but they had a practical effect in their bags. Maybe you see one T-shirt or one spanner or something from the bag floating. But people underwater for 7-8 days, and they never found anything. They never found anything. So what is equally and worrisome is that Moses, who took our children there, we got convinced from all what we saw that kingdom did not capture. They said the kingdom went on. Where the kingdom went on, there were Zanzakawa formed a finger ring and returned it to the Senate of the representative. There where they have looked and they cannot find the kingdom. Or when there with this kingdom and anything. Zanzakawa took us the other way around to Hendy. They brought the owner of the kingdom. The owner came and said, my kingdom only has the capacity for 2 persons only. So there was an argument, a drama between the guy telling the kingdom, who said he was from the town, and the town people first informed us clearly that they were not from the town, they worked for St. Moses. And at the final analysis, the 3 guys who claimed to be survivors told us, yeah, we work for St. Moses, we are security for Moses. So, you not telling people, they said, no, we work for St. Moses. The kingdom cannot be formed. The man said, even if the kingdom were available, 6 persons cannot even sit on the kingdom when it's on the land. 6 persons cannot fit in the kingdom. So there's no way that people could take 6 persons on that kingdom.
Now, Mr. Blamble, I listened to you today and listened to another lady and Mr. Samukai. You people said that you have hope that the boys are still alive, but you want the government to get involved through the Ministry of Internal Affairs of the Republic of Liberia. Because the way things have gone now, you don't have the other power to retrieve your children, but you know that your children are not dead. Why extra power do you need instead of calling 10 to 50,000 people to go and find your children? What other power do you need?
When Chief Zanzakawa got in the picture through Senator Prince Johnson. Zanzakawa went there, were able to get the owner of the canoe from across the water without using the canoe. He used the country devil to come in and bring the guys who were in hiding to the town called Andy. And we realized that Zanzakawa could have used the children, but in his own word, the government banned them. No such traditional activity. It could not go further. So, at the point where there were testimony that the children did not get in the kingdom, there was no, in fact, nobody got on the water without was established. We decided to beg him. And he said, no, I don't have the power. In fact, those people from the traditional people who were there trying to find the bodies, they all got angry. They said Moses made a fool of them. Knowing very well that the children did not get in the kingdom, and they were never any drowning. So they got angry and decided to pull out the water. So we asked Zanzakawa to see if he could help us. He said, no. It's only the Internal Affairs Minister can give him that authority to retrieve the children.
Oh, so you still believe that, listen, that thing we're talking about now, the children, according to you and Zanzagawa, the children are alive, but they need authorization. They need authority from the Internal Affairs before they can release the children. Is that what you're telling us on the international media?
Exactly. They need authority because the president banned all traditional activity in Liberia. And to go, even he gave a typical example. If somebody stole a chicken, he could look among 100 persons and say, this is the rogue, but because they are banned, they are forbidden from doing it. So only the police. In fact, all the suspects, he said, look, he was turning them over to the police and were walking away because anything further that would be a violation. We have to get government permission. But here's the thing. Most have gone to work, spend a lot of money, making sure anybody who will come to the press must only give one story that the children was involved in a cleanup wreckage and they drowned and they are dead. And this is something that is equally worrisome because we ask Moses, you got our children. And if we, the parents, believe that they are alive, why can't you join us to find them? And you're angry that we are even talking about the children being alive. Moses is insisting that they are dead. Even though it's 9 days plus, you cannot look at the body, there's no sign, but Moses is still convinced. Nobody has been able to see. Even with her in Liberia today, one superintendent was on the radio. Somewhere she could not even reach. And she don't have any idea. We got videos of the place. We got the testimony of the people who spoke to us, all the traditional people that spoke. We recorded them in the presence of the police. Everyone said they were hearing the story from us for drowning. From us, they were hearing the story. They don't know about it. So we continue to tell the police we're not prepared to help because Moses have just manipulated the whole police station. Everybody is buying the idea. In fact, you go to Moses Kaya and tell you the children are dead, you know they are dead. And the children got drowned, they are dead. But you don't even know where it happened. Police are not being able to establish. This is our problem right now we have with them. They are not being able to establish whether there was even a canoe campsite. At the end of the day, the boss said it was no campsite, but they jumped out the canoe. Instead of canoe campsite, water was entering the canoe and they jumped off. So that 2-3 statements he gave me now, the one incident. Police cannot reach there. Police have not been able to. The police that were able to reach there went there because we secured them, protected them to go in. So we told them we're going to record every incident along the way. And while we're there, we're also taking people numbers, filing, and sending them scratch that to fill the information. And everything came down. In fact, the other family, the Sherry boy family, were Muslim. They brought traditional people. They were using mirror to see the children alive. Everybody use mirror. They call me and say, "Can't see your son." I said, "My friend, look at that thing, you know." They said, "But yeah, if you have a son, the tie in the bush here. And this alley, you need speedboat, government don't have speedboat. You need helicopter, government don't have it. So only Zanzakawa can go there. He know the way to go there."
Now, let me ask you, speaking of authorization, you sense that your son is not dead.
Right.
We have only one God that we're all afraid of. And people saying that they are on the other side of the world. There's no one who can do this. And according to you, Chief Zanzakawa is telling you, say, listen here, it's too much. We have to go and talk to the Internal Affairs Ministry. Well, today I spoke briefly with the Internal Affairs Minister, the Honorable Vani Salif, and he said to me that Ashford, I am waiting to hear from the superintendent of Bon County before I can do anything because I don't have all of the fights. In this day and age, we have all the kind of power, 173 years. Our country is the 2x4 country. We ain't got nothing for ourselves. That kind of thing, you can't mobilize people to bring your children. Look at you. If their boy dies, that will make it 3 of your children to die.
Precisely.
In less than a year. And you are sitting there talking about we're waiting for the people to come and talk to us. Do you believe in that thing they call dark magic and all that? What is going on, Mr. Black? You know something that we don't know? Are you and Moses in the same boat, and you're acting that you want kind of you want distance yourself from him after you've been from him for 30 years?
You know, if you were to reach the area we reached, and you know, you would not even have the courage in the first place to reach where we reached. Because I'm not a member of any power society. Moses is a member of the power society. Moses is a member of the NIGI. Moses is a member of the Masonic, the IOGT, and all those kind of things. So Moses will be the people. But because of the fact that we knew our children were alive, we were prepared to take any risk to get there. But if the inhabitants of the village find it even difficult to go across on that island, are we going to swim 200-300 feet across to go in? With that kind of current, we cannot swim. Somebody on the island, police could not get it, the traditional people could not get them, and Zazakawa got the man from there by using the traditional devil. It was clear. How did Zazakawa get this ring from under the water, the fire in the water, pushing the water, and call the representative and say, yes, your ring. Are we going to turn a blind eye on our tradition and culture? And the man has the capacity, the capability of getting the children out, or we put pressure on Moses to bring the children back. But from when we got in the town yesterday, we leave. Some of the inhabitants told us, look, they have to carry on the ritual. If they don't carry on, Moses will definitely die. Because they are already turned the children over for the ritual to take place.
Yeah.
But not, yeah, because of the alarm right now, they cannot perform it because the children have to be alive, and they tie there and drain their blood for 3 days. And they see that we can move in any time. Right now, as I speak to you, we got people passing around to use the ferry to see how they can get to that point. I'm trying to explore every other means. But of course, if you go into that kind of place where they have the traditional setup there, you cannot intrude if you don't have permission from somebody like Zazakawa. That's where we are. Because if you intrude, you get attacked by the traditional devil. So we have to get people who are also members that will be able to be on our side to help us. And that's what we have done. We have tried to negotiate with people. Even Senator Representative Adams, Bill Corner is mobilizing people from Banga to go into Total Tax and go by way of Sanoye. See how they can infiltrate that area and see they can rescue the children. As I speak to you, there were people sending information that they even have succeeded in rescuing the children. But we don't want to release that news to the public until we can see tangibles. But we're working towards this so that the world will see that the police, the superintendent, all lie to the people. And the minister, so I spoke with Senator Johnson just, and he said, oh, by getting information, the children release. I said to the senator, until we see them. Or those who got them, like Paul said, that we have rescued the children and we got them. So these are things means we are exploring. But Moses is spending real money. We asked the police, why can't you investigate why Moses is spending all the money, drawing thousands and thousands and thousands of dollars?
Now, tell me about the strength of the police in bomb mines. How many police officers you have there? How many vehicles they have? How many bikes they have to go to decide, because it appears as if you people were more active in reaching out to where the young men were allegedly found than the police. You did more than the police. So tell us about the strength of the police.
The police have a strength of 3 men only. 3 men, 2 police officers, one CID.
In the whole country?
In the whole country. 3. No vehicle, no bicycle, no motorcycle, no guns. 3. So they were even afraid we were carrying them because we were they to be transparent. 3. So the superintendent to come out and say she had the facts. She can't even reach there because to walk that distance, she got be ready for 2 days. The people don't even know how they have not even seen her in the part of Beaumont. So we had to be the police. The police were just watching us as we were conducting investigation. Until our second time in there, when we knew that where we were now, only the traditional leader could come in. That's how we got in contact with Sazakawa through Senator Johnson to help us. You know, Mr. Garley is like, I walked to the police station and I told the police, there, look, my car was involved in an accident on the road to Grand Coup, and 3 persons died on my car. And the police said, well, we don't have vehicle to go there, we don't have means to go there. But you show it. I said, yeah, that's true. Why would I allow myself? I killed 3 persons. The police said, okay, the statement is right. But then family said, well, send our people dead and then we want to go there. Can you tell the show what part of the room? And you say, I can't remember which of the hair I went off. Can we see the car? He said, I don't know where the car went because the car went down the valley. We jumped up, we left the car, and the car went, so we can locate the car. This is the scenario we are going through. Police have never been able to establish a single thing. Nobody, no police can reach, and they don't have vehicle to even go that route. And they will not be able to warn unless that police officer there is committed to his job. But no police now in Liberia will work 7 hours just to do firefighting free of charge.
Now, the muscle that I see on you now, why is scaring you from going to take your son or to take the other people who you feel now that they are still living? Are you afraid of human being? Why you can't go there to do stuff? You see, you know what? I know my son is not dead. I know these people are not dead. Nobody can stop me. Why are you not taking the stand to go there and retrieve your son and the rest of the people who are held captive because of witchcraft? Why?
No, it's not the witchcraft. The means to get there is what difficult for us. We need boat. We need a helicopter. And our government don't have it. If the police don't have a car, then they're just thinking about getting a speedboat to go on that pressure water. So this is the only means that even if you pass around, you will encounter the same problem from the other side. So the only means the traditional people. And that Sazakawa has supreme authority. The men on that very island, Sazakawa ordered the devil to go and arrest him. But he said for retrieving the children, he will not, because one simple thing we suspected is that big hands is behind the thing. The ritualistic thing, we saw graves. And we asked, but who graves are these? They said, oh, there was some Fula people that got drowned, one Fula woman, one Fula man. Another 2 Nigerians and a Ghanaian got drowned here. I will bury them. And we can't take them from the water. So things are happening. Sazakawa was really, really annoyed that people are being killing people for ritualistic purposes.
When you say big hands are behind the thing, so Zansa Kawa now, who is the chief Zo, he can be on the other side above F, then he can be on the other side too. He know what all going on there. Is that what he's telling us?
It's not what I'm telling you. What I know he's capable of doing. What he knows, I don't know.
Well, according to what he knows now that these young men are not dead, right?
That these are things that were established. They are not dead. It was established.
They need permission from the Ministry of Internal Affairs of the Republic of Liberia before they can release the children alive.
Precisely, that's what he was alluding to. Yeah, he didn't want to come out to say like he was demanding that permit, but he gave us this information by way of parable. He said, right now, if somebody stole here, I can't do anything because we are prohibited from doing this. But retrieving the children cannot be any problem for us. And he demonstrated it by retrieving the ring, and he showed this man his ring that God made him. He demonstrated it by even bringing the man on the island on show for us to investigate him. So he said, these are all violations, and he will not go further. And he just got up and walked away. He said he was angry that plenty of things were happening that he noticed, and he was not really happy with it. So he decided to walk away.
Okay. What I want to do now is, usually when I get to the 1 hour mark, I like to go to our people then for them to call into and ask a few questions. I said number people have to know. Okay, the number to call is 248-979-1718. We have Mr. Robert Blamble, the father of one of the missing children, live here with us on Bridge Radio Africa. You can begin calling now. 248-979-1718 is the telephone number to call. And Mr. Blamble, I'm pretty sure you're still hopeful that you see your baby boy alive, correct?
God is great, and that will happen. God will not let us down.
Amen.
No churches are on there. People are fasting, people are praying. This will be okay.
Wow. Okay. Again, we want to go to the telephone now. We have, I see the people calling. They can't wait for them to just start the phone. You when I try the same thing you tried last time. I don't give me a hard time to know. There you go. Hey. Yeah. Oh, I love this thing. This small Facebook platform. Yeah. If you're calling today, I let it small Facebook platform. Yeah. Y'all way small. The small Facebook platform. They can't let you. Batu Kula is on the line. Hello, Batu. Welcome to the show.
Thank you. Mr. Blamble, thank you for coming on the show. And Mr. Blamble, you pretty much solved your case for your son. If you hadn't asked pertinent questions and refused to accept what Mr. Moses was saying, those people would have taken your kids. Continue to stand your ground and make sure.
We want to go to the telephone now. We have
and saying negative things about the devil and all of that. The reality is those people don't believe in your white Jesus. They have their set of rules that they abide by. Their traditional culture is sort of like the Masonic craft and all of that. They have rules, and the old man has to abide by those rules. But what he said, which is true, is that they have no access to get to where those kids are, and the Liberian government will help him get his son back. I think that would be great. But continue to stand your ground.
Thank you, Abatun. Okay, we have Aliyu on the line. Aliyu, hello.
Yeah. ASHFORD, thank you so much for allowing me to participate on this very, very important program tonight. let me just say, you asked a question to the old man about the days. It's been 9 days. Scientifically, a lifeless body cannot stay underwater for more than 4 days. That's the first and foremost. And when a body floats, it floats around the area in which, not too far from the area in which it. Just wanted to clarify that. Another thing you brought to something. Actually, let me inform you. African spirituality. It is real. Don't ever go to Grand Dealer and challenge the people in the bush. You will not come back. I guarantee you that. We have seen these things live. This existed before Jesus Christ went to Liberia. So African spirituality is very, very real. That old man is not bluffing. He is telling you the truth. And from all indication, he did a very good security work. He did a very good detective work. Even if these guys intend to sacrifice these kids, they can no longer do it. From putting one or two together, it is clear that the gentlemen are still alive. So I just want to tell him, thank you so much for being a father. A father, your first responsibility is to protect your family. And you have done it to the fullest of your ability. And it's time now for the government to get in and for the Internal Affairs Ministry to get in. So thank you so much. Let me give other people a chance. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Aliu. Thank you. Okay, we have 9029. Tell us your name. 9029. Please tell us your name.
Hello?
Yes, the last 4 digits of your number. 9029. Tell us your name.
My name is Charles Coleman, calling from Atlanta, Georgia.
Hello, Charles. Welcome to the show.
Thank you, Ashford. Hello, Mr. Rob, I just want to tell you people, you need to stand your ground, because I listened to Simose when Ashford was interviewing. I know what he was saying. He was lying. Everything Simose was saying, I know he was lying. You need to stand your ground. You need to protest. If the government cannot come in to do anything to rescue the children, you need to protest every day. Every day. You need to, if it calls for you to go to do anything you can do to get these children back, you do it. Because the government can't in it. If you ain't still strong, you won't get these children back. So you need to do everything you can. We will support you, we will stand with you, we will pray along with you. You need to get these children back. If it calls for you to burn some whole building down, you burn it down. If it calls for you to even see some of her kids and arrest them, you do it. That's the only way. Violence taken by force. If you sit there and just wait for diplomacy, it will not happen. It will not happen. Since your family is not in peace, his family too shouldn't be in peace. His business, you should close your business down. When you take this step, she wants to bring the children back.
Thank you.
Thank you.
We have 9037. Tell us your name.
Thank you. My name is Wilton. I would just like to say thanks for having this show. It's very informative. People like the other callers that particular said, people who underestimate our tradition, I mean, they gotta be crazy. I think there are a lot of noise in the background.
Just like that, the call failed. When you have too many callers coming in, there's too many keys trying to go into one initial. Yeah, you get confused. Yeah, go ahead.
Yes. Also, like I was saying, people should stop underestimating the power.
That's small thing. Go ahead, my brother.
That was killed in bunk mines. And the people said that woman was eaten by crawfish. And Samuel Doe said the crawfish that ate that woman, he won't see the crawfish. And the traditional people got together. When they went to find out, it was some prominent people in bunk mines that killed that woman and took her on unborn child and took the parts away from her. And those people ran to Banga. And those were the names, but I want to call it. I don't know whether they stay alive. But the president needs to get involved in this thing. Order Chief Samson Kawa, who already working along with him, must stop. And this the thing. as nation in the world, because it's about time that the government step to be to listen.
Okay, are you done? No one's seen it connecting before. What do you call this in Jay? Can you change? Yeah. We have all these people. Wow. Hello, ma'am. You're live on the radio.
Hello.
Yeah. How you
Hello?
doing? Yes.
Yes. Hi, Mr. Blamble. My name is Margaret Johnson. I just have a question. I was wondering, did you, when the guy said he needed paperwork from Internal Affairs, did you ask it just in case Internal Affairs didn't come through? Was there any other option that you had that, you know, that you could get your kids back just in case the government didn't come through? Were there any option that he gave you that you could use just in case the government didn't come through for you?
Okay, we'll post up to the call us now and go back to Mr. Blamble to say a few words. Then we'll go back to the telephone line. Mr. Blamble.
Yeah, thank you very much. I'd like to thank all of you who have called and raised your concern, and you can understand the reality from where I speak. And to the lady who just spoke, we have other options. We have other options. You know, we want to be law abiding, but we can also do other things. The first and foremost is that we got the support of Senator Prince Y. Johnson. Senator Johnson has been making every effort tonight. As I was coming here, Senator Johnson was calling the Minister of Justice and calling the Minister of Internal Affairs, precisely to warn them that this might lead to mob justice or jungle justice. Because tomorrow, what we intend really to do, because we got the three families coming together, we want to do an official letter demanding and requesting the Internal Affairs to have Honorable Zaza Kawa empowered to do our work. Because the children are hungry, the children are not eating. Children are starving, they're weak. Other family members are seeing the children starving. And some of them even decided that they will go to Africa or Guinea to get traditional people from there to come and do the work. But of course, Liberia, what we call the Traditional Council, have to give them the green light because it's a set thing, you know, in every country. So we say the shortest and the most convenient, the faster way is for the Internal Affairs to empower Zaza Kawa to help us recover our children. If we don't, we have to explore other means. As I speak to you, we try to negotiate with some Lebanese friends to see if they can help us with speedboats and put some of our military, ex-military men together and to move into that place. But if we did that against the will of the traditional people, perhaps even Zaza Kawa would not be happy.
So against the traditional, that's not making me vex. If somebody wants to, then you say we can do it against the traditional way. What kind of traditional way business? Eh?
Mr. Garley, those are reality. You can't turn a blind eye to it. In fact, the other boy, Safa's sister was recording certain things that Mr. Zaza Kawa was speaking. She took her phone, she got it from the stage. And she took the phone to the back and was recording with this sensitive phone. And then was sitting there, I to talk to you, say, fine, everything you told her, nobody will hear it. Everything you recorded, nobody will hear it. She said, who me? The man said, I'm talking to you. Everything you recorded, nobody will hear it. And she walked on her office, out of the conference room, and she did the rewind it and tried to do the replay. And she was only a whistle blowing in her phone. She wanted to throw the phone away. She was afraid. Everything was erased traditionally. I'm telling you something.
You got all that power. You can't help our country. Our country is one of the poorest countries in the world. Then we got all that power to be evil to people, to kill people. What kind of nonsense is this? Hold on, man. Let's go back to the telephone line. 207. The last 4 digits, 4999. Tell us your name. How you doing, my brother? Welcome to
I think I got one solution for Mr. Robert and Mr. Robert Blamble. The thing he said he don't want to go against the traditional way. I think my opinion is it should be an eye for an eye. And right now, I would think they should be branding in motor houses and try to get motor or his family. If you get my family, I try to get a family because I learned if they go on the island, the traditional chief will not be blamed, okay? Because when I find out there was no traditional chief, but since they got a traditional chief, and you are hurting, and then you don't want to disrespect the traditional chief. I think the solution there is that let the Liberian people go to Timothy's house and grab his family. Or just grab Timothy. When you get Timothy, then you go get your son. So why she? When the people, the Constitution gives the people the right. When the people of Labrador have the power, you got the sole power, and you're wasting time running behind chiefs until they kill your son. And when they kill your son, they say, "Oh, we all family," and now we are not family. Because that's the only way the government will speed up. Don't stop bringing his houses. God will get involved, it will talk to Van Bakawa, it will bring your son. That is something I can't do it.
Thank you.
You over there.
Thank you, brother. Okay, we got a 401 number, a 401 number, the last 4 digits of your number, 8819. Tell us your name.
Hi, this is Sharon Kepa.
How you doing?
I'm good, and you?
That is the CDC guy.
Yeah. So our Tia Pop in studio, I just want to say, sorry in the meantime for the things that you have to be going through. You know, it's very painful. It's very hurtful. But from the whole situation, from everything you explaining, from the way government is playing, in the first place, if you have in a situation, your citizens are having a situation like that, 3 young promising men are taken by one individual, and you guys have to be crying on the police, crying on your government to help you rescue your kids. I think for the most, that is total nonsense. It simply tells that the government or the police that you guys are looking up to are not in your interest, because the very first day when that news came out, they should have sent men on the sea or on the water, whatever, to go in fight for your kids. But the fact that they do not care, the fact that they are all in a society together, you guys will not have the justice that you are taking your time, being moderate, waiting for. As a father, you know the pain you feel right now. So just as you took your time and went from one end to another end and hearing different stories, I think for now, a man like Timothy should be facing or citizen arrest from you guys. Then what type of person, Rachel, right? Rachel can be anything. You can use anybody for Rachel. It's not only your kids and the other kids are good for Rachel. Timothy is also good for Rachel. But why they waiting to perform Rachel? You get Timothy and use him as that Rachel. Once you guys lay him on Timothy, it gets serious. When you're taking action in your own hands and taking law in your own hands, that's the only time the real story as to where your kids are will come out. Because it's crazy. It took no time for them to be able to take your kids and carry them. You did not have to perform ritual. You did not perform ritual for them to take your kids. So get your kids and they are telling you to perform ritual. I can't believe that in this modern age, we are still having that kind of mindset. And you don't know anything about ritualistic practices. You don't know anything about these traditional practices. You don't even know if they are telling you all that they are telling you to make you weak and get tired over scratching over your son, that they will finally kill your child for nothing. You guys have to stand up there. You have to stand up and take the law in your hand. When the government cannot protect our citizens, the citizens protect themselves. You have to stand up.
Thank you, Charlotte.
Thank you for hosting me, Mr. Garley.
Yeah. The man already not there. You said they got bigger hands behind the thing. Yeah. You think the thing that when there's Moses involved, they got bigger hands behind the thing. Yeah. You know, and if that's how you want to treat our country, where you can just take innocent people and just kill them because of ritualistic purposes, then you have got to stop. This is not fair for Liberia. This is not fair for the people of Liberia. I've known some Moses for over 25 years. I know him to do a funeral home and, you know, and sometimes have people who don't have money. But I don't know him to get involved in that kind of thing. And I'm just hope he's not involved. Because this is just not fair. This is complete nonsense. Can you just get up and see people, you know, sanctuary and go do juju just to get richer? I just hope this is not the case. Gee. 612-9634. Tell us your name.
Oh, my name is Ben, and I'm calling from Minnesota. How are you?
Good, my brother. Go ahead and make your point.
So what I actually want to say here is this. I look at this from a different point of view. And this is very tragic. And most often when tragedy occurs, most of the stories that happen probably in the first 2-3 days, it's not that those people are lying, but because our mind is respond to the target in different ways, most of the information always are not the same. It doesn't mean that the people are lying. So
You still there? Okay, thank you. Murphy.
Yo, what's up?
Hello, my man. Welcome to the show.
Damn, my man. I show cold bulb all over me. Let me just say, sorry, Mr. Blamble. But actually, let me tell you the truth. Mr. Blamble have done very, very, very well. Where he has reached, nobody should encourage him to do ordinarily impossible. Let him follow the protocol as at now. Now, let me say this. The president of Liberia, I hope he's listening, and other people are telling him these are things that will bring insurrection in a country. There's a identical issue. Nobody needs to say anything about that. We're talking about the lives of people, children here. Those children could be in Ria, or in McGill, or in Tuan. Up till now, the police spokesman, incompetent, had a press conference and said the police investigating and nobody must take law. Investigating what? You hear Mr. Blamble? He had to take 3 unarmed policemen to the place like, y'all follow us. So who was supposed to protect who? This is what we're talking about. They said don't blame the president for everything. This one, people are ready to lay down their lives, Ashford. Mr. Blamble, tomorrow should be the last day. Whether they get your paper or not, you'll start governing resources and moving there. And as for the reason why Mr. Blamble can go that water, somebody could get drowned. If they both use the traditional thing, they go put any kind of boat on that water. Maybe the people in that boat too, the witchcraft will throw it upside down. So they got to take down. The wicked traditional thing that can happen is a life. But we'll be. Yeah, but if they can go across the water, tomorrow morning will be the last day. If nothing can happen, we will take to the street. Thank you, Ashford.
Now, Mr. Blamble, see, Moses was on there yesterday expressing his condolences to you and the rest of the others, that these people were drowned. And yet you are today saying this is far from the truth, that your son, including the other alleged victims, are still alive. Something that was confirmed, according to you, by Chief Zanza Kawa. So what does St. Moses know that you and myself don't know, for which he will say, have his sympathy for the loss of your son and the others? Mr. Blamble?
Yeah, thank you. You know, it's interesting, Mr. Garley, you know, for you to see that police in Liberia will not be going after Moses for providing protection.
Hold on.
From Mr. Moses Awuswe. I was on my way to bomb mines and to go to the forest. Police, our team called me around 11 o'clock or in the bush, 11 o'clock p.m. in the bush to ask me, we are aware that you are organized men to go and burn the funeral home. And I asked him, is that why important for you now? As compared to our children missing in the bush? Is that why important for you? He said, I just warning you, because any attempt with deploying men tonight, anybody try to go to burn that funeral home, nobody will survive there. With them who have been given straight orders to shoot, to kill. Those were his exact words to us. And as I speak, nobody have asked. Well, in bomb mines, when St. Moses sent a written statement to the police, he did not go. He sent statement written to the police. I was in Central, our 1 office, 111 office, when I suggested that you call Moses in to ask, get his statement. They called Moses. Moses said, I'm coming nowhere. I will not come there until what I want to do, I'll do it and complete it before I come to you to Central. Moses is there. Right now, they say his lawyer secured his bond. And he's out there with police escort protecting him, with the fear that Robert Blamble is planning to kill him. So he have police escorts, but you don't have police to go to retrieve our children. So you see what's happening. We carried on a peaceful demonstration last Thursday in front of St. Moses Funeral Parlor, and they had a squad, a whole team of PSU personnel, armed police officers, that if anybody gets close to St. Moses Gate, they will determine what to do to them. So you see what we're going through. And Liberians right now, the hardship, people are afraid because you get killed, nothing comes out of it. Nothing comes out of it. So we got to just go through what we're trying to do. See if the internal affairs will drag it on for a week or so. You know, we get put in there because it's not only the government. We are looking at people who are praying, the religious people who are praying for us. Praying. And their prayers, I'm 1,000% sure God will deliver our children to us. God will deliver them.
Okay, we want to go back to the line. Killer Ben is on the line. Killer Ben?
Yes, good evening, ASHFORD. Good evening, Brother Blamble. God is in control and God is fighting for you. And that's what I said on Sunday, that we will not stop until Moses brings back our children. I got some information. Let me give it to you here. The girl that called on your show, ASHFORD, is not Moses' daughter. The girl that called on the show from Philadelphia, her name is Madeline. Madeline is the niece of Moses. And Moses' sister Agnes, that's her daughter. Moses' daughter name is Odell. That little girl, so easy. Yes. She's not even involved into this. She told me that I don't like my father's behavior. I don't. Even Moses' son, they call his name Askelah. He lived in New Jersey. Moses' son, Felix, This Moses man is a dangerous man. I'm told that Moses' son that died here, select. They said Moses here was inside it at the same time when his brother Patrick died in Ghana. His daughter name is this girl that going by the name Vero Mami Pepe. That his brother's daughter in Liberia. So Moses is an evil man. But we want our children back, and when Moses bring our children back, we will still punish him. He shouldn't think that what he traveled. We will happy again. Thank you so much, Astro.
Thank you. Want to go take the West outline. It's a 447 number. Tell us your name.
Yeah, hi, my name is Crystal. I'm calling from London.
Crystal, how you doing? Welcome to the show.
Hello?
You live on the radio.
Yeah, hi, how are you?
Good.
Yeah, I've been following this story from the very day it came out, and I just have a few things to say to Pablo Blamble sitting there. You know, Papi, first of all, I want to say I'm so sorry for the pain you're going through as a father, knowing that your only child is somewhere being tied up or held hostage, which is as good as a kidnap, and not having food or water is just a painful thing. When a person is there, they are there, you know they are there, that's it. But when you know in your spirit that a child is alive and having to go through this amount of torture, it pains even more than when a child died. But this is my advice to you as a father. If he is sitting here waiting for this government, trust me, my brother, nothing is going to come out of it. And the reason why I say so is because everybody knows Moses in Liberia. When we were in Liberia, you say, Hame, all those people were involved. These people are the people who gave out ritualistic killing and gave human body to government officials to perform ritualistic purpose for elections. So what make you think the government can say anything to see Moses right now when you have their very line is on his hands? Papa, go out there and look for your children. If we have to organize GoFundMe for you, we will gladly organize GoFundMe to enable you to get a rightful manpower. Forget about the government. Forget about the police. The police, they are useless in Liberia to get across those waters and get your children. Those children's life cannot be wasted. And if Moses is not speaking out, the Liberian people should hold him accountable. They should have him brought to the streets in broad daylight, stripped naked until he can tell us where these kids are. Nobody is above the law in Liberia. And the Moses funeral cannot continuously run when these children are not being found or they have not yet been found. The Moses funeral needs to be shut down by the citizen until the children can be brought alive or dead. These are just my little advice to you. Do not hold on this government because they are useless. They are not going to assist you. They are not going to bring those kids home. They are just going to cause you more pain. So at the end of the day, we all will come together. If it's GoFundMe or whatever your need for us to contribute, I'm sure there is a helicopter in Liberia. You just need to pay for it. So you can do your research on that and get back to the guy who has the show. Let him see how you can arrange this GoFundMe for things so everybody can contribute to help you get whatever means of transportation to get those kids. We are all in prayer for you, and may God be with you. And thank you. I commend you for your effort as a father, for going in those deep forests to look for your children. May God continue to bless you and strengthen you as you fight this fight. But just know you're not alone. That's all I have to say, Ashford. Thank you very much for having me.
Mr. Blamble, a Liberian man once said, and quote, that the worst thing that you can do as a Liberian is to appear a little successful. When I spoke with Moses yesterday, and I asked him, I said, Moses, with over 5 million Liberians, why you? Why will you be accused? He said, Ashford, I am successful, I work hard, and because of envy and jealousy, according to you, you and Moses go back a little over 30 years. Are you jealous of Moses? Are you just trying to make this thing up because you don't have the money that Moses has and you want to see him go down? Is that why you're doing this, Mr. Blamble?
No, I never thought that would even come to your mind for the fact that I'm happy I have my children, and I'm doing a kind of business. Even since I left the army, I've been offered jobs here and there. I turned down because my happiness were my children. I come from doing my private job in the evening. I'm rushing home to go and we crack jokes, eat together, we do everything together. You know what I'm talking about? That was my happiness. We pray, after praying, we crack a whole lot of jokes. I've not been out to nightclub. I used to, drink 1 or 2 beer in the night, go to the club. But for the last 10 to 12 years, I stopped it because I was having that happiness with my children at home. I never even want to be together. While we're at Moses and take my own child and jogging in the bush or so, because every Moses was a friend of mine. If even I went out of money, if there was a need, I could call Moses and say, "Look, let me 1, 2, 3, or 400 if the need arises." I don't think he let me down. So why would ever somebody like that? If I want help, he would be able to help me. I didn't really need any help. I had jobs, I had contracts that I was running away from. I worked for a lot of people, so the contracts were coming in, the clients were coming in. Sometimes I had to shut off my phone to avoid it. My happiness were my children. If you see I going and going into the devil bush and going to the place, it's not because I entered Moses. The risk going there, even like easier to call Moses and say, "Let's talk, but give me something." No. So we don't understand that, but happiness is my children. And I will not rest until I get him back.
Okay, and some people don't even understand. They're attacking me now. I asked the question because Moses said he's so successful, and because of jealousy, people are going after him. We want to go to the telephone line now, and we have 678 is the area code 2359. Please tell us your name.
Thank you so much, Ashford. This is Mr. Brown.
Welcome to the show.
Calling from Florida. Hello.
You're live on the radio.
Thank you, Ashford. Okay. I want to take this time to tell Mr. Blamble, thank you so much for your courage, for taking the time to stand with your family and also your children, or your son in the bush over there. I want you to be very careful here. Ashford, I know you kept saying Mr. Blamble should mobilize people to go and retrieve his children. We are talking about traditional council and tradition. It's successful to have headquarters to go over there. It is possible that you get there and the children will not be there. Or it's possible that if the headquarters land, you may not even find those people. You are dealing with traditional people. At this point, say you have Prince Johnson and Chief Zaza Kabar, I want you to follow that procedure. Follow their advice. Because if you do something contrary to what they're telling you, if something happens, they're going to tell you, we try to help you. But you went contrary to the people or custom. They do have a tradition. The tradition in our country, do we like it? No. But this is the point that we are now. If you forcibly go and retrieve the children, you may not even get them in the right mind. So you have to be very careful, Mr. Blamble.
So true, brother.
When it says violence and stuff like that, I know it hurts. It hurts so bad. But follow Chief Zaza Kamar and Prince Johnson, Chief of all Zoro, and a week, follow their instruction so that you retrieve your children over there in a safe manner. If not, you may not even see them, or you may see them, but if they come out, maybe somehow confused or even not in the right manner. I'll stop that far. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, my brother. And we also have 347-4466. Tell us your name and welcome to the show.
Yeah, thank you. I forgot it. My name is Mohammed M. Kamara. I'm calling you from New York. Originally, I'm from Bon County. What I want to tell Mr. Moses is that Bon County has one of the useless traditions. This is their habit that they always do to people. 1986, 87, they did the same thing during those times to a Maningo man in how you call it, in Parala. People have to demonstrate to get a man out. Valley Kita was the justice minister at the time. Just recently, during early time, they do it again around Swakoko area. 2 Maningo guys was arrested again. So what people are saying that they should follow the tradition, if they follow the government, the children are not going to get released. So the people have the habits of killing people, naming President Tano, that Tano, maybe they want to get Georgia his own name. So the best way is to demonstrate, burn villages, then the government will intervene, the children will come out. I'm from Bonkante. If anybody say I'm lying, let it prove me wrong. I'm telling you the truth. That's the people behavior. That's their tradition. They always kill people. So he shouldn't take it lightly. They're not going to do nothing to him. It's just a human being. If the government don't take action, let us take law into their own hands. Or else, you're not going to find these people. I'm telling you. If anybody say I'm lying, let it come and prove me wrong.
Thank you.
They want to have me in the 80.
Thank you, brother.
Thank you, brother. Thank you.
We want to go to the 793, the last 4 digits of your number, 6707. Tell us your name, please, and welcome to the show.
Yeah, hi. Good afternoon, Asha. Good afternoon, Mr. Blamble. How you doing?
Hello.
Mr. Blamble, first of all, we're keeping you in our prayers. And
thank you.
This is my question now a question, actually a friend question. I remember asking my wife to interview with Moses and you, and I replayed that interview. I replayed over and over, and I watched that the voice, the whole thing, and I'm watching. I said, for somebody who took people children and pronounced their dead, the way she served, no nothing like feeding back. And that's what I'm going to say. If I already said, the children, they already know what the children are. If they don't get them or they don't give them, almost will die. I would suggest you keep your eyes on Mercy. He shouldn't leave your side. You make sure the armor, weapons, or whatever we got in my country. They should make sure the authority keeps Moses where about 24-hour under surveillance. He shouldn't need to go missing. Because when somebody didn't do nothing, he was trying to escape to go to Sierra Leone. So if Moses had gone, Moses, the truth was again. I think the first thing Moses was testing people to go to the priest to tell them, say, listen, your children die. Then they accept it, and then you go ahead with business. Timothy been doing this stuff for the longest. Every time somebody dies like bro, Timothy always the only person available on the show. He won't been killing people. They should be the last killing he would do. If anything happens to weekend, Moses shouldn't be alive. That's all I have to say.
Thank
in
you.
the meantime, Mr. Blamble will keep doing our prayer.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Hello, Sir. Sir, you're live on the radio. Hello, sir. Welcome to the show.
Yeah, good evening, everybody. Are you hearing me, sir?
I didn't know.
Yeah, that's what I'm calling. Okay, Mr. Blamble, we are so sorry for your loss, or not for your loss, for your situation. Because according to what I listened to, your children are still alive.
The man lost you. The man say he still has hope that you'll find his son.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Don't say you're lost. I beg you.
No, I didn't. That's why I corrected myself back. I said for his situation right now. Because he's worried that his children need to be coming out for us to see them. My concern here, Mr. Ashford, is it possible that you can get us the Minister of Internal Affairs on this program to tell us why is it that the civilized country of 173 years old is holding to old tradition and depriving people of civilization?
Sir, I spoke with the Minister of Internal Affairs today, and according to him, he instructed the superintendent of Bond County to go ahead and investigate and send him some type of communication. So I was on the phone with the Honorable Vani Salif today. So we don't just come out and say things. So he will eventually come to tell us something. Go ahead.
Okay.
you, Mr. Blamble, and all the other people who are in the same situation with you, that God, in His own power, we intervene in Liberia so that we can see sanity and seriousness into our leadership. This is all I have to say.
Thank you. Okay. Want to go to Mr. Octavius Gilman from Detroit, Michigan. Mr. Gilman, you laugh on the radio.
Yeah, thank you very much, Mr. Gotti. I mean, I've been listening to this story, and first of all, let me say, sorry to the woman that you got on the line, but I'm finding it difficult just by listening to this man and saying that Moses is his best friend, and this and that. And it makes me think twice. I don't think that is the kind of tone that I'm supposed to be hearing from a father right now who in child is missing. I think the kind of discussion now we're supposed to be having as Liberian and as a father on this line is after Moses is dead, or his funeral home is burned down, his house is burned down. We're in this fight together, and I will not rest until I see my child back home. And then Moses' daughter is killed, his son is also killed. I mean, these are the kind of conversations I would like to be hearing. But it takes me back when I hear this gentleman saying that also Moses is his friend, and then he been kind of polite in saying that. I mean, and then I hear people talking about tradition. We are in 2020, and Liberians are saying, "Oh, we got to go the traditional way." No. I mean, it's just sad that we having this kind of discussion. And Father, and let me say this before I end. I mean, I pray that your son come back, but the tone that you are sending to people like who go to church one time a year, it's kind of discouraging. I mean, I wanted to hear something from you that August Moses. I'm waiting to collect money. The person that will kill Moses. I'm waiting to collect money. The person. I mean, these are the kind of thing I want to hear from my father. But thank you very much.
Thank you. Okay, we want to take the last call from because time has cut with us. The last caller will come from Indiana. He's the president of the Liberian Association in Indiana. You're live on the radio. Go ahead and tell us what you have to say.
Yeah, good evening. Actually, my name is Rufus. Again, I just want to be a little bit rhetorical like you did earlier. Mr. Blamble, you've been knowing C. Moses for a couple of years. Now, as a friend to C. Moses, my question to you is, the man you know as a friend, is he capable of doing what we are alleging that he did? Thank you.
Okay. Now, we have to take this very last caller, Koto Banayen from New York. Koto, are you there?
Yeah, that's why I'm there.
And I want to say thank you so much for your patience. I mean, you've been on for so long time, and I will make you the last caller, then we'll go to him, and we can call this a night. Go ahead, Koto.
Yeah, okay. Actually, thank you very much for bringing me on tonight. I want to give Mr. Blamble the courage, because as a mother, knowing, with many children, I don't care how many children you have, but if one is hurt, it destroys your whole life. And I want to talk to the government today. If they have manpower to protect Moses' funeral home, why can't they find the manpower to go and search for the man's son or for those boys I drowned? You see, after sometimes some of these things that have sometimes some people can take law into their hand. I was faced with serious situation just like that. An individual went and damaged my house. They take the roof off my house because I can't call his name to dignify him. When we went to the court, the people went and started trying to the court and side with that lawyer, some Tamba man court that they have. After what I did that day, I grabbed that lawyer to balance the SCA and beat him right in the court because I was crying and people were there making mockery out of him. And I want to give Mr. Blamble the courage. The same courage they got to say they will send people to shoot them.
them. You know, sometimes, you know what, some people are not around and say, oh, you're not there, that's why you're talking. But you have seen someone at the front there, then they will know what it is. I was in the police station when they had one of these girls, or one of those girls raped. I grabbed that man like the raped and beat him until the police will put me out of the police station. So this is something I'm talking about hype. You can be whoever it is. You can see somebody child that they have suffered to have and let it go down to the jail. And I heard Simone talking about he's not ritualistic and he been making money. And he been making money out of the funeral home. Why he had to go on Diamond Mine if he still have money? So it means that he still want more money. So it is possible that he could sacrifice the kids. So we want to get to the bottom of this story. We want to, Mr. Blamble. We might not be near you, but we are all with you, Mr. Blamble. Let's fight their case to the end. Don't give up, because they want you to give it up so that they can win this case, so that they can have your children and your heart be burning. He's not a friend, and he was a friend. He will come right on your feet and say, Mr. My friend, your pain is my pain. Let's go wherever we can find your son. But you sitting there and saying you're scared for people to kill you, your life is better than the man's son. So that's what I'm just telling Mr. Blamble, like he get that courage and get on his feet. We will all be there to rally around him.
Thank you.
Thank you so much for having me.
Okay. Moses, before Mr. Blamble come in. Moses?
Yes, thank you, ASHFORD. This is a very sad conversation we are having here, and I want to say Mr. Blamble should take courage and take heart. We're in solidarity with him in this situation and with any other Liberian, regardless of their affiliation or where they come from. My attention is drawn to two different things. And I'd like to suggest to Mr. Blamble why I'm asking him a question as well. The first thing that comes to mind is, I know this is not a political discussion, but the first thing that comes to mind is, where is the opposition in this? Where is Belinda Yue? Where is Mr. Joseph Numa Bwaka? Where is Alexander Cummings? Where is Young Kanga Lawrence? Yeah. Because they're talking about Liberian children. And if the government cannot appropriate funds or do something to help this man and his family or other families that are mourning today, what are they doing? These are opportunities. These are times that you seize to prove to Liberian people that you are ready to do something for them. You are serious-minded. We can't afford to make everything political. Some things that you got to be humanitarian about it. I want to challenge them. Let them help this man and his family. Let them help the other family. Let them provide the necessary resources. These guys have money, and this is not joke. There's nothing political about it. They can do the right thing. And I want to ask Mr. Blamble if they have reached out to him or if he has reached out to them as well. That is my first question for him. My second concern also is, President Barack Obama said that we can walk and chew gum at the same time. Why looking into other options? I will also advise him openly here to write to the United States and write other partners in Monrovia, informing them about the current situation that's prevailing. They need to know what's going on, and he needs to clarify what the government has done in terms of helping and all families get their children back. This will be my suggestion, and I want to thank every Liberian that is in solidarity with him, and we stand with him in any form. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you, Mr. Moses, and I will allow Mr. Blamble to come and answer the questions that was asked by the callers. He will go ahead, Mr. Go ahead, Mr. Blamble.
Okay, thank you. To be frank, I'm happy that most of the caller expressed and they are in solidarity with us while we go through our struggle to rescue our children. And we thought not to go to politicize this issue because we never ever had the time. This issue occurred last Saturday night. The only time we had in Monrovia was Sunday to rest the mass. From Monday last week, we were sleeping here and there in the forest. and greatest appeal to all well-being Liberians to come to our rescue, come to our aid. And sometimes the Council of Churches, you know, sometimes in the bush there, people bringing mirror to look to see your own child and reject it because Catholic. What am I going to project that faith? So I refuse to look there. I'm looking up to God. I'm disappointed even the superintendent of Bond County, who have not gone into that bush anyway to ask him to ask. He's a Catholic. She will come there and tell those kind of blatant lies that the children are dead and she got of the kingdom. I mean, why was it giving them small money to sell their souls? You know, the police, no help. In fact, the police, the best thing that they want for us is to accept the fact that the children are dead and the people now moving around free. The police car behind his car, but they don't have police car to go in the bush. So it's what we're going through, and they have a poster. If I try to support us, they are targets. This is the reason why we say they are big heads, and we gotta be really careful. So for now, to be focused on the objective and look at this objective as our priority. Our priority now is to see how we can get our son recovered. We don't want the dead bodies to see them alive. Why they're trying to kill them and make their sacrifice. Every one spoken against it has to be because they know exactly what is happening. I want to tell you, we try to ask even the opposition political party, asking the president, asking the to come to our aid, and they can help us, recover the children. There's nothing for them. I just one command. The armed forces of Liberia is here. Both immigration for boats, but they are no fuel, no this, no that. So, the media will do that. You, Mr. Garley, will be of help to us because I spent all of the time I spent in the forest. Some workers, coconut, there to survive. We were drinking water from the creek. So just mineral water around there. All of this. You cannot get water, go carry food. Because one thing second we knew that maybe the devil will capture us and say, oh, why is not carrying food and water that will be of no use to you? So well like that. When they will think God, I will tell you back. So we want to thank also concern for us. Moses will have a day. Moses will have a day. That is for sure. Moses will have his day. We will never let Moses go unpunished. And we're hoping the lesser punishment Moses will get is by bringing those children back alive. To do so, we'll go after everything that Moses ever worked for. Every surviving relative of Moses will equally bear the weight.
Wow.
You can trust
Mr.
I want
Mr. Blamble.
I want to use for warning to you.
I want to say a big thank you to you, Mr. Blamble. Just honoring, the invite for you to come on yet on Bridge Radio Africa. We're not involved into the crazy stuff like breaking news, but we want to reach out to the souls to see who are directly involved, and for you to honor the invitation to come here. And I also want to just say a big thank you to our partners in Liberia, for allowing us to work through them to go out and go after you, to have you on tonight. You know, the local radio stations in Liberia, Top FM in Dreaded Grand Julia County, you know, Joy FM, Live FM, Super FM, Prime FM, and all of the local radio stations who decided to take this program live tonight. Thank you so much. And Mr. Blamble, stay in touch. I will stay in touch with you. I will also stay in touch with Mr. Moses, because I believe what Moses said yesterday and what you said, Moses still has some explaining to do. And we'll continue to inform the Liberian people, not only in Liberia, but in other parts of the world. If you have anything else to say, the microphone is all yours, Mr. Robert Blamble.
Well, I just want to give God the glory. That's all, because that's my only, hope. That's the only person I depend on now, because I doubt. Well, anything can happen whether the government will be able to come to our rescue. I can assure you, maybe to even obtain the permit from the Interior Affairs Ministry, they might drag it maybe for a week, so that will give opportunity to crucify children. But God being God, He will find it difficult. Those children will not die. We pray tonight, they will not die. And we will get them by the grace of God. God is the most powerful supreme being. The devil are now confused. They're even confused in that bush.
We'll wait for that day. Thank you so much, Mr. Blamble. Have a good night. Get some sleep. God bless you.
God bless you too. Thank you, Abba.
Oh, music kitoko.
Na mama oh, na monema mama oh, yaka to pesanga bezeli dama soki opesi maya la memo mama oh, wana na komine sika na lingaka esala kanga pasi na motema mama oh, na motema na monema mama oh, Mama, oh, Mama, Kiamsito, voy a vivir de belle. Hey, hey, Hoka. Hey, hey, Hoka. Hey, hey, Hoka.
And folks, I'm afraid that's all the time I have to be with you. God willing, I will be back tomorrow afternoon. Until then, will you please allow me to borrow the words of the wise man? Tough times don't last. Tough people do. The height of a man is never known until he rises. And there's no second chance to make that first impression. Don't see okra and swallow bones, because you can't hide your nakedness from bathing bucket. A bald-headed man does not walk on the moonlight. Greg, c'est tout baye ge. Zagon pro da raja ko no chira ji. Pure no muzo ne won ye madomo. We wen. Chin zombie. Yurutra. Moro blai. Mane koyo. Moro sei. The medicine of the microphone. The golden voice of Liberia. The broadcast commissioner. Ashford the Giant. And now you know me, Garley. Have a good night.